So I needed to hear this today. This comes from Mark chapter 5, and I'm going to start in 25. And a woman who was there had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors and had spent all she had, yet instead of getting better, she grew worse. When she had heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak, because she thought, "If I just touch his clothes, I will be healed." Immediately her bleeding stopped, and she felt in her body that she was freed from suffering. Let me share a couple of definitions about bleeding. To allow fluid or gas to escape from a closed circuit through a valve, or to drain someone of money or resources. I just had a moment in my car where I was crying because I was just thinking about the last 4 years, but really it's happened, my whole life. You know the golden rule where you treat everybody as you want to be treated? Well, I treated everybody how I wanted to be treated. But, they didn't treat me how I should have been treated based on how I treated them. So what happened? They bled me of my time. They bled me of my resources. They bled me of my money. They bled me of my love. They bled me for my compassion. They bled me of my joy. So when you read the scripture and you're like, who bleeds for 12 years? I don't see how that's relevant to today. Who bleeds? Well, when you put bleed in as to drain someone of money or resources, how many of you have bled? How many of you are being bled right now? And it says, she had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors, and had spent all she had, yet instead of getting better, she grew worse. And now that I realize this, that it's not only talking about blood, it's talking about letting people bleed you of who you are, your time, your money, your resources, whatever it is that you have to offer. The Bible just doesn't make you somebody who cries and somebody who's soft. There are multiple meanings to things in it. And now that I think about this story this way, I'm not going to be bled anymore. I'm not going to bleed anymore for anybody. And if you're going through this,